How did computers help start the 1950s space race? Imagine a time when computers filled entire rooms and blinking lights were the height of technology. The 1950s was a period of rapid change, especially in how nations looked to the stars. This era saw the beginning of the space race, a fierce competition between the United States and the Soviet Union to explore space first. But how did computers, which back then were enormous and slow by today's standards, help ignite this race? Well, they played a vital role in solving some of the toughest problems in space travel. In the early days, computers were used to do complex calculations that would take humans weeks or even months to complete by hand. For example, calculating the precise paths for rockets to reach orbit or land on the moon required solving complicated mathematical equations called differential corrections. These calculations made sure rockets would follow the right trajectory and re-enter Earth's atmosphere safely. Without computers, these tasks would have been nearly impossible to do quickly or accurately. The first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1, launched by the Soviet Union in 1957, shocked the world and pushed the United States to act fast. The American response was to create NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, in 1958. NASA relied heavily on computers to plan and execute space missions. They used mainframe computers from places like the Massachusetts Institute of Technology to help with calculations. These computers could process data faster than humans, making it possible to plan missions like Mercury and Gemini with greater precision. One of the most important computer innovations was the Apollo guidance computer. Developed in the late 1950s and early 1960s, it was small enough to fit inside a spacecraft and helped guide astronauts to the moon. This computer had to perform real-time calculations for navigation, control, and landing. It had to be extremely reliable because even tiny errors could mean disaster. The Apollo guidance computer was a huge step forward in miniaturizing technology and making space travel safer and more precise. Back then, computers looked like giant cabinets with blinking lights, spinning tape drives, and lots of wires. They were operated by skilled technicians and mathematicians who knew how to get the most out of these machines. These early computers were expensive, costing millions of dollars, and took up entire rooms. But they were worth it because they helped solve problems that humans alone could not handle. In the end, computers in the 1950s helped start the space race by giving scientists and engineers the tools to do the impossible. They made it possible to plan, test, and execute space missions with accuracy and speed. Without these early computers, the United States might not have been able to catch up with the Soviet Union's early lead in space exploration. They laid the foundation for the incredible achievements that followed, including landing humans on the moon and exploring distant planets. These machines showed the world what human ingenuity and technology could accomplish when working together toward a common goal.